का अभी 501 तक
ให้มีฮิโม
뭐 토요일 해라 해. 그냥 나가. 그러면 약간 자 입적될 때.
Hello and welcome everyone to match number 82 of the prestigious I-League. In this game, of course, Aizawl FC locking horns with Mohammedan Sporting Club, and this game will be played at the picturesque Rajiv Gandhi Stadium. As you can see the visuals on your screen, it's a beautiful stadium in Aizawl in Mizoram, and we can expect this game to be an absolute crackerjack of a game. We can expect the two teams to play their hearts out, and of course welcoming my co-commentator today. It's an absolute pleasure to share the comm box with Varun. Varun, what are you expecting in this absolute pulsating game?
Thank you so much, Boomba. And yes, I'm expecting a lot because 3 points at stake, and not just that. Mohammedan SC lost out the last game. Scoreline was 3-0, so for the 3 points, they need to come back to their winning ways. And on the other side, Aizawl FC at their home, they're going to be threatening and they want to climb up from that 5th spot. So yes, they have their chances to make it to the top, and this might be that turnaround in the season, in the campaign for them. So Aizawl FC hosting Mohammedan SC. 3 points at stake is going to be a tough battle for both the teams, a tough challenge for both of them.
Absolutely a solid chance over here for Mohammedan to shrug off the cloak of mediocrity. It was an upset in the previous game at their home ground, and now it's a different challenge. Aizawl FC have looked really good, fresh off the international break. They're coming on the back of a couple of draws, of course, and there you can see the dressing room where so many stories will be told today. Of course, the dressing room of Mohammedan today wearing their away jersey. They have to punch above their weight as well, because they cannot take Aizawl FC lightly. As you rightly mentioned, 5th in the points table. They couldn't really keep a clean sheet in the previous game, and now, as you can see, confidence oozing out from their eyes. They know the 3 points are at stake. Presently, they are 4 points clear of Real Kashmir, having played a game less, so they would want to extend their lead at the top.
That's right, and the best part for Aizawl FC is that in the last 5 games, they are unbeaten. They've got 2 wins, and the last win was 3-0 versus Shillong Lajong. After that, back-to-back 1-1 draws for them. And for Mohammedan, they were unbeaten till the last game where they lost out 3-0. So here's a long walk to the center of the pitch as both the teams will fight it out, as Mohammedan SC want to strengthen their position at the top of the standings, and Aizawl FC at their home will like to climb those standings. Tough battle for both the teams. It's Aizawl FC versus Mohammedan SC, Boomba.
Absolutely, eyes on the prize for Mohammedan, and ISL promotion is on the stake, of course, the top tier football league of India, and now a chance for them, of course, to play a good brand of football in this game, this picturesque stadium in this beautiful northeastern state of Mizoram. It's going to be played at Aizawl, of course, and the customary handshakes will be following very, very closely. The visuals live coming from the Rajiv Gandhi Stadium, of course. We'll be having the handshakes very, very shortly.
Both the teams getting ready. Battle of 90 minutes, and before that, exchange of greetings.
Of course, the dignitaries making their way into the ground. It's a big moment for all the players to be greeted by the dignitaries over here in front of a not-so-packed stadium so far.
The dignitaries going towards the visitors first. Mohammedan SC will be the favourites this season, would like to finish at the top, and they have kind of been consistent top of the standings. And on the other side, Aizawl FC looking to get back to the winning ways after 2 back-to-back draws. Scoring has been kind of a problem for them. They have to be more clinical in front of the target. And on the other side, Mohammedan SC, well, a big loss for them in the last game, 3-0.
Absolutely. The fans didn't treat the entire loss. I hope it's an aberration for them. They would be hoping that it's an aberration for them. Would be hoping that they can play a better brand of football in this game against Aizawl FC. Aizawl FC, of course, champions of the I-League in 2016-17. The People's Club, and now the customary handshakes. The visitors alongside the hosts. We'll be having the toss shortly. And here's a solid chance for Aizawl FC. Presently 5th in the points table, 5 wins under their belt, 19 points in their kitty. If they can get a win over here against Mohammedan SC, that would be a big shot in the arm for them.
That's right. They've got 2 losses, and here's the starting lineup for Aizawl FC. Bobby Stojowski has got a 4-3-3 formation Fernandez, Scott Gustavo, Ivan, Rizuela and Josuera handling the defense for the hosts. And Riata along with Mawia and Tharpuia will be leading that striking force for the home side. And on the other side, Mohammedan and Rishanishov to get back to winning ways is also depending on a 4-3-3 formation. Boomba.
Absolutely. Between the sticks, Padam Chetri couldn't really keep a clean sheet in the previous game, but look at that forward line. Kozlov from the right flank, he can deliver in those crosses really well. And now the toss, of course. Let's see. It's the home side which has won the toss, the chosen side. And it's the visitors who will be starting the game. Now a chance for them to gain a little bit of momentum early on in the match, of course. Like we were talking about, Mohammedan, 8 wins in the tournament so far, 27 points under their belt. And of course, the referee, the judge and the jury of today's game, he'll be having a task for them to make sure that the match goes on without a glitch. Ashish Tiwari, of course. And there you can look at the points table. Mohammedan presently 4 points clear of Real Kashmir, but having played a game less. On the other hand, Aizawl FC, a win today, and they would go past Gokulam Kerala. They would be in the 4th position. They would be targeting that coveted 4th spot.
That's right. And the best part for Mohammedan Sporting Club, yes, like you mentioned, they've played a game less, and also the number of wins. They've got the maximum 8 number of wins. So Mohammedan SC looking forward to get back to winning ways. And it's important for them to strengthen that spot at the top, because it's a long league and we're kind of halfway out here. And consistency will be very important for any of the teams who are eyeing the top spot, especially the top 5 teams out here in the standings. So Aizawl FC will be a tough challenge for Mohammedan SC, who are kind of struggling after that loss in the last game. And after 2 back-to-back 1-1 draws, Aizawl FC also looking forward to get back to their winning ways at their home.
100%, absolutely. 1-1 draw against Interkashi. Then the previous winners of I-League, of course, Gokulam Kerala, Mohammedan had won the CFL. They would be hoping that they can carry on the positivity which they had before the international break. They would be hoping that it was an aberration. It was just a one-off loss. But it is the men in white who will be starting from the left to your right of your screens. And of course, in their blood red strip, it is the home side, Aizawl FC. Mohammedan locking horns with Aizawl FC, in which promises to be an absolute crackerjack of a contest.
That's right. A 4-3-3 versus 4-3-3 on papers. Both the teams looking for those set of 3 points. A tactical battle of Bobby Storowski versus Andriy Chernyshev. Important for both the teams to have a very important and a good game, so that the graph stays steady, and also things in the dressing room and the atmosphere in the practice pitch also gets better for both the teams.
Absolutely, trying to gain possession early on with those slick passing. The men in white, of course, Mohammedan. Now let's see, can they throw a spanner in the fireworks of Aizawl FC, do something out of the box, be a little creative in the midfield, but they've been using the flanks really well. Kozlov especially from the right flank, they've been using the right flank really well. And of course, David Lalsanga, 4 goals in the I-League so far. He's a good number 10. And now Aizawl FC in their defensive third, trying to push the ball away from their defensive third. Now it's pressing from Mohammedan as well, away from danger zone, of course. Tussle for possession in the midfield. Now gentle push forward. There's a little bit of a layoff. Back with the goalkeeper of Aizawl, Nora Fernandez. Looking for a few options.
Mohammedan Sporting scored just 4 goals in the last 5 games. So the scoring bit has been a problem for Andriy Chernyshev and his company. So that is where they have to work on to get back to scoring ways, to get those points. And on the other side, for Aizawl FC, unbeaten in the last 7 games. They want to continue that streak. And I think Aizawl FC, if they get even a point in this game, since they're facing the toppers right now, it's going to be a good one for Bobby Storowski.
Absolutely, and as the manager had said pre-season that they're eyeing a top 4 finish, this would be a big moment for them. Of course, if it's a draw, let's see how Mohammedan wave off the threat It is coming. The finishing has to be a tad better. In the previous game against Real Kashmir, which was played at the Noihati Stadium, it was a goalless draw in the first half, and then the entire momentum shifted in the second half. Now from the left flank, he's looking for a few options here. Gives that gentle push near the box, loses out possession. Slaps the ball away from their defensive third, but the threat still persists in the midfield now. Not an odd of man marking in the midfield for Mohammedan. Now, gentle pushes, slick passing now. There's a delivery, but the marker doing really well for Aizawl FC on that occasion. To push it out of that defensive third. There's a little bit of a miss pass from the right flank. It's a tough angle, but a body push. All eyes on the referee. Fair and square in his eyes.
Bottom of the screen is Sandra Chernyshov trying to ask for the reason why the penalty was not given, and the fourth official facing the pressure and the heat. But I think it was a good challenge out there, because Zwidiga was the one who faced the challenge. He caught him really quickly, and there was no claims from Zwidiga. The rest of the team was asking for a penalty. So Aizawl FC were busy defending, and Mohammedan Sporting have been great from the left so far in the game.
Zuriga, the captain of the game for Mohammedan. Now can he marshal his troops, get a win? Gentle push behind. Tussle for possession for the league toppers. Using the left flank, there's Rem Sanga in the left flank, in the left wing. He'll have his task cut out for today's game. Now in the midfield, now there's a misdirected pass. Once again back in possession with the men in red. It's constant tussle for possession. Now that's a good delivery on the left flank. There's a little bit of an open space. Can he deliver the cross now? Looking for a few options. But that's a good block. Ball goes out of play. And the first set piece of the night awarded in favor of Mohammedan SC. How important is this set piece for them? Get a goal early on within the first 5 minutes of the game. Then the entire momentum is towards them. Now it's Kasimov. The onus is on him for a perfect delivery and the first set piece of the night. Back to Kasimov. And he's brought down. Possession in favor of the men in white.
Most of the moves for the visitors have been from the left. The corner was a good delivery, but then a good header for clearance from Aizawl. For the early minutes in the game, the hosts have been busy defending, and on the other side, the visitors quite threatening, but still looking for a good clinical touch to find the back of the net. Kasimov getting ready for another set piece, and that's like pressure building on the home side, because back-to-back set pieces means pressure. A variation this time, a setup done, a header for clearance again this time.
Gentle back push. Oh, that's a wayward delivery. Straight into the hands of course, the custodian of Aizawl FC, Fernandez. The pressure early on, like Varun just said, on Aizawl FC. They have to clear the ball. They have to clear it off their defensive third. The counter-attack still not coming from the men in red. Gives that gentle push. In the midfield. Ball once again goes outside the sideline. Of course, for Aizawl FC, Laltan Mawia has had 3 assists in the tournament so far. He'll be having an eye on the prize. Most of the goals of Aizawl FC in the tournament have come from team goals rather than individual brilliance. They will be hoping to continue with that same thing. A rare foray into the aggressive third of Aizawl FC to clear the ball, Mohammedan.
That's right, Aizawl FC have scored 10 goals in the last 5 games, but then in this game, not played many passes in the opening third. But the visitors have looked more threatening. As Wanella with a long ball, not a perfect delivery, goes back to the defense line. Aizawl FC are still trying to settle down, and the defense is being tested, but not many passes from Aizawl FC. Not a good proper chance up front. So yes, the team is struggling with Riata Tarpuya, Mawaya not getting perfect creativity in the midfield zone. But Mohammedan SC have looked a little better in the attacking third, but is that they've not found the back of the net.
Absolutely. And Kozlov, who was in the right flank in the previous game, he switched flanks in the left flank today. Just trying out a few variations, the head coach, Mohammedan SC. Kozlov, his deliveries have been pretty good in the previous game. Just couldn't materialize it into a goal. Now a quick throw in from the skipper of Aizawl FC. Can they keep it in? Ball goes past the goal line. Once again, getting the ball in their aggressive third, but not being able to materialize on their chances. It's been a persistent problem of Aizawl FC in this game and in the previous couple of games when they salvaged only 1 point, of course against Inter Kashi and Gokulam Kerala. A win today and they would go to the 4th position. So that would well be on their minds. Now from the left flank, trying to make an insertion here, Mohammedan. Gives that gentle push forward, good control on that occasion, but loses out possession. Eddie. This time it's Kasimov once again. Skipper gives it behind. Irshad. Now from the left flank, delivers in that cross, but good presence of mind from the defender. Nevertheless, it is a set piece for them, the second set piece for Mohammedan. Once again, if we see the replay, it wasn't a very good delivery. Needed a bit of elevation on that occasion.
That's right. Eddie Hernandez was waiting for the delivery, but a good clearance and a little risky one from E1 could have been an own goal. Second corner for Mohammedan. Another one from the left. Variation this time. Couple of passes, then a cross. Headed away for clearance. A shot taken. Not a good one. Hernandez looking for options. And Aizawl FC are defending in numbers. Somehow keeping that clean sheet. 11 minutes up. And it has been like attacking Mohammedan SC and Aizawl FC. Busy defending.
Most of the action happening from their left flank over here, Mohammedan. Kasimov has been a very busy player today with those 2 set pieces, and every time there's been a little variation. So there's a change in their tactics from the previous game when there weren't a lot of variations in their corners. Now once again making an attack, and that's good defending. The defenders have been on point. They've been busy making their socks dirty, and once again the men in white back in possession, trying to do something spectacular, trying to get that first goal. They have to break the deadlock. Close to 12 minutes up on the clock. That's a good delivery from the right flank, trying to make a few options. David gives that gentle push behind. Juan gives it on the left flank. Most of the action taking place in the left flank. Back to Zoding Diana. Now back to the goalkeeper, Padam Chetri. Chetri to Irshad in the defensive department. He's been a toil in the defensive department of Mohammedan SC. Irshad. We're hoping that he doesn't have a very busy day today. Couple of passes now towards the left flank, waiting for that delivery. Gentle push to Eddie, takes that shot, takes a crack on the goal, but wide of the goal, of course. The first shot of the day for Mohammedan. Very, very tempting from that distance, but not the time to give in to the temptations. Eddie. Goal kick for Fernandez.
Eddie Hernandez, that was good setup for himself. Got that pass, made some space for himself, took the shot, a grounder, had a lot of power. Was trying for the corner, the lower corner, trying to test Fernandez out there. Couldn't keep it on target, but a good start in the first quarter for Mohammedan. The defense line of theirs have not been tested. Just a couple of passes in the Mohammedan's half, and that's all Aizawl FC have been busy doing in the attacking third. Rels, they've been struggling for creativity in that midfield area. Hernandez with the back flick header, sends it again to the left. This time it's going to be a throw-in for Aizawl FC.
Possession largely being dominated by the visitors so far, and that should be a bit of a concern for the hosts. Now from the right flank, Aizawl FC, a rare foray into their aggressive third. A couple of passes using the right flank, but that's good defending from Mohammedan. Threat still not over, this time on the left. That's good control. Just a couple of passes. Now trying to create a little bit of a space. That's a good sliding tackle from, of course, jersey number 34, Zudika. Rezuala with that throw-in. Straight into the hands of Padam Chetri, not tested, like you mentioned, Varun. So far, he'd be hoping that he doesn't have a busy day in the office, get back to the days of clean sheets. Of course, before the break, they had a 2-1 victory against Neroka FC, Mohammedan. Now they would be hoping to shrug off the cloak of mediocrity which they displayed in the previous game at home. It's never easy, it's always a tough nut to crack whenever you're traveling, but so far it's been a positive sign.
That's right, Boomba, because in the last game, the team conceded 3 goals. So Mohammedan will be looking forward to getting a clean sheet tonight. And the coach might have suggested the same. A good start for them, the attacking third, creating chances. Hernandez taking a shot, getting corners, winning a set piece, but still it's a deadlock out here in the Rajiv Gandhi Stadium.
Now a chance for Zudika. Back in possession with Zudika. Now that's good man marking. Couldn't really get away from his marker on that occasion. Mohammedan SC. There was David, of course. David has been in clinical form. He was in clinical form in the Durand Cup as well. Had 6 goals under his belt. And now translating his good form in the I-League as well. Aizawl FC in the midfield, have to be a little creative, use the flanks, delivering those crosses. Haven't seen a lot so far. This time, wayward delivery. Once again, the ball going out of play. Aizawl FC making a few forays into their aggressive third, but not being able to keep control on that ball. This time it was the skipper of Aizawl FC, of course, today, Zuhaira, in the defensive department, stepping up, trying to act as a potent force in the attack line as well now. Mohammedan from their defensive third. There's been constant chatter from the sidelines. The two Jaffers just making sure that their tactics are in place. Mohammedan SC would be pretty happy with the way things have panned out for them in this half so far. But they need that goal. They need that goal. Now, against the run of play, this is Aizawl FC. A misdirected pass, and once again the possession being lost. This time can they tear forward on that counter? Mohammedan. Eddie took a chance. That's a good little pass. Utilizing the right flank. Slaps in the ball. Needed someone over there. Needed someone over there in the box for that little header. David it was.
Remsanga sending the cross from the right, trying his best to find his teammates, but then could have been backwards towards David or Eddie Hernandez. And on the other side, Aizawl FC have had a good second quarter start for them. Joe Zohair on the right, taking charge like you said, Mumbai, and on the left, Rezwala making those runs. So two crosses coming in, not making much of an impact, but still Aizawl FC are looking better in the attacking third after that first busy quarter for them where they were just defending.
And that's a push. That was a little push. It was fair and square in the eyes of the referee. Therefore, the game wasn't stopped. Now, Mohammedan SC once again. There's been a switch of flanks. Remsanga playing in the right flank today. And Kozlov in the left flank. A stark difference from their tactics in the previous game. And of course, a loss like 3-0. Definitely you need to go back to the drawing board now. Trying to make a little bit of space on that occasion. Once again, with those slick passes. Mohammedan in the midfield now. Trying to do something creative. Back to Irshad. Irshad has been a towering personality in the defensive third for Mohammedan. Kasimov towards the left back now.
But the home side has assessed Mohammedan pretty well, it seems, because most of those long balls and the passes were meant for Eddie Hernandez. And it seems like Gustavo is busy marking Eddie Hernandez, not letting him receive the ball or not letting him turn, if at all he receives one. And the first quarter, like Mohammedan was a little more edgier. It seems like it has kind of faded away. And right now they are keeping possession, they are playing passes, but not looking that lethal like they were in the first quarter. Another long ball, this time it was meant for Kozlov. Aizawl FC, I think, have settled down, but they have to do a better job in keeping possession, playing passes and dominating that midfield area. From the left is Kozlov. Small touch, but the flag was up for offside.
David this time with those mazy runs, of course. He's been known for those mazy runs inside the final third. This time has his task cut out. He's been a player to watch out for in the Mohammedan SC lineup as well, up against his former club. He's played for Aizawl FC in the previous game, but it was Krizo of Real Kashmir in the previous game that was up against his former club Mohammedan and scored those couple of goals. Now, of course, Fernandez asking his players to push back. He's going to take the traditional method of goal kick. Couldn't really find the Aizawl FC players in the midfield. They have to be a little bit creative and brought down this time. Possession in favor of the hosts. Now a chance for them to build it up.
That's right. They have to have a hold of this rhythm. They have to play more passes. That will give them confidence up front to create some chances for better results. A good turn, with a good challenge and a strong clearance. And it's being chased by Eddie Hernandez. Eddie Hernandez versus Gustavo. Gustavo is asking for a foul, but I think the referee wants a throw-in to be taken.
Eddie Hernandez now with that throw-in. Back to Juan. Just loses out possession on that occasion, Juan. So make sure that acts as a spanner in the fireworks. It's been pretty impressive so far from Aizawl FC, especially after they were taking a while to get the bearings right in the first quarter of the game. And now being a bit more aggressive Like Varun just mentioned, they've been a tad better in the aggressive third. Now to Kasimov. It's been a treat to watch Kasimov in the I-League 2023-24 so far. With that mazy run, he needs a few options. There's Eddie, there's David, gives it to David. David, is he going to take that chance? A quick turn, now a chance, but that's good work. That's brilliant work in the defensive line with that sliding tackle. Now tearing forward on the counter, but in the midfield loses out possession once again. Gentle push forward. Now they're marching forward. There's a lot of open space. Gives that gentle push, and they're asking for a foul. All eyes on the referee. And the head coach is not happy today.
Andriy Shenishov, all animated, and it's the second time in the game Mohammedan is asking for a penalty. Well, it was Rimsanga looking for the return pass from David. It was blocked. But was that illegal? That's the question. Mohammedan fans will obviously be claiming for a penalty. But a good move and a good piece of defending also from Aizawl FC in the move before that. Great passes, a good game from Mohammedan, and then the defenders staying in possession, keeping their calm and stopping David. So yes, Aizawl FC have kept that clean sheet, but Mohammedan's looking lethal again, just like the first quarter.
Absolutely, we can expect this game to go right down to the wire. It's box office action that's happening. It's a constant tussle for supremacy for both the teams. Now using the flanks once again. It was that gentle push. Good defending on that occasion. Captain Adinga is leaving his defensive department, making sure he adds a little bit of support to the forward line. Captain of Mohammedan SC, and now Fernandez. What's he gonna do? 25 minutes up on the clock. The scoreline 0-0. The story of the game so far. Once again back in the defensive department of Aizawl FC. There's constant pressing from Eddie. Has to be a tad bit careful on that occasion. Fernandez. Eddie is a wily player inside the penalty box. Now using the left flank, Aizawl FC. Another misdirected pass, another possession lost on that occasion. Rezuala it was. Couldn't really get that pass on point.
A little better is expected from both the wingers of Aizawl FC. Bit of pressure right now. Cleared away, and then Mohammedan. An attack from the left. Captain Adinga has been challenged. Rizwala on the left. Chozuhera and Rafal on the right. Need to do a little better for Aizawl to get back in the game, to create more chances. Because if you have noticed up front, the striker Riata, Tharpuya and Amawaya for Aizawl FC have not got the ball, and it's not their mistake because they've not received any passes from the midfield area. A couple of passes and then Aizawl FC have been losing possession, but this time looking a little better. Sandwiched, Riata keeps possession, takes the run, sends it to the right. From Thapuya to the right. Thapuya gets it back, but it's out of his reach, and a job well done by James out there.
Absolutely, the wingers have to do a much better job on this occasion. Back in possession with Mohammedan SC. Of course, there's a major player missing in the defensive department of Mohammedan SC. Joseph was given the marching orders in the previous game. He's flashed a red card in the second half against Real Kashmir. It's been a major change for them. Once again cleared by Aizawl FC. Tussle for possession, and once again it's Eddie. This time gives it to Kasimov. Can he keep it?
A good point you mentioned out there, Boomba, about the suspension. But Aizawl FC are not taking advantage because the defense out there has not been tested, and I don't think Mohammedan will be missing the suspended player much.
Be pretty happy with the way things have panned out in this half so far. Mohammedan, constant attacks, dominating possession, dominating the midfield, using the left flanks really well. Mohammedan have done a good job after their loss in the previous game. They have to continue with this because in football it is so unpredictable. A goal against the run of play and your entire hard work can go down the drain. There isn't constant pressing from the strikers, just making sure that the stamina is maintained. There's still a lot of action left in the game. There's a quick turn by Kasimov, gives that gentle push to David. David with that misdirected pass. Hasn't been in form in the last couple of games here, David. Now that should be a worrying sign for Mohammedan SC, because he's been the player who's grabbed the limelight on most of the occasions. This time it's Remsanga with that gentle push. Because it was Zudika, couldn't really keep it in possession. Once again, it's Aizawl FC, the men in red, the People's Club. They've been the I-League champions 2016-17. Have played well in the tournament so far. Been unbeaten for quite some time. Now from the right flank, like you mentioned, Varun, a while back, they have to use the flanks a tad bit better. Now couldn't really get space. That's good defending. Brilliant defending by Kasimov. He's been very versatile as well. Kasimov as well as David. Coming back into the back line when the action is in their defensive third. And the first set piece for Aizawl FC. The first corner. And can they break the deadlock from that corner? All eyes on that crowded area near the penalty box. Look at that possession being dominated by Mohammedan. Now, it's been some sort of a confusion. They're having a quick chat with the defensive department, Irshad, and of course Zudika. It's been some sort of a confusion in the man marking now. Slaps the ball in. That's not a good ball. They have to be a tad bet. They have to be a little better than that. Now he's got a chance to fix things, and once again, a couple of times he's got a couple of opportunities but couldn't cash in on that opportunity.
That's right. In games like these, you'll get minimal chances. When up front you're not firing, set pieces will be the way out. And Aizawl FC had the chance, but a good delivery from the corner is what you expect when you're not getting good chances or playing a lot of passes in the opening third. And Aizawl FC have to do a lot better when you get chances like that. Amawaya making another run for the ball, but then Mohammedan's showing good display of sportsman spirit and clearing it out. Zudika, as Amawaya wants some medical attention.
Absolutely, that's a good display of sportsmanship, like you mentioned, Varun, over there. And the team doctor and of course the physiotherapist swinging into action, just checking on Amavia. We'll quickly take a replay of how things happened. It was Zudika on the turn, and then of course I think he's just gotten himself a pull on that occasion. And a quick time to revitalize their strategy, a quick drinks break of course. Chance for them to have a quick chat with their Jaffa, to check in on their strategies, make sure that they have enough time. And that's a decent amount of crowd that has come into the Rajiv Gandhi Stadium. It's a very, very picturesque stadium in the beautiful state of Mizoram. Crowd enjoying their football, and we've seen so many formidable players from the northeastern part of India. People love their football.
That's right. A beautiful game, and the fans are the ones who make it more beautiful. The scoreline is a deadlock out here. The fans will be a bit tensed because Mohammedans are looking a little better when it comes to attacking. They've created chances, it's just that they've missed out on the target. And Aizawl FC It's been 32 minutes in the game. Still not got a proper chance, Boomba.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you, Varun, a goal over here and it'll be an electrifying atmosphere in the stadium. Now Eddie with that pass to David. David loses the possession, but once again has it back. Once again with David now. On the left flank, he has an open space, but just stretches out his leg at the right time. Zohera, the captain for today, does well on that occasion. Quick throw in, this time it's with Kasimov. Gentle push forward, Mohammedan now. They have to be a little different. Once again, the defensive troops rising up to the occasion. Tharpuya on this occasion as well to snatch back the possession. A quick throw in from the captain. Picks a long throw in and cleared away by Mohammedan into their aggressive third. Eddie. Tussle for ball in the air. The player from Uzbekistan, Kasimov, on that quick turn. Now that's a good ball to David. David to Eddie. Eddie takes a crack on the goal, but that's good work from the goalkeeper Fernandez, rising up to the occasion, making sure that the game still remains at a deadlock. That's really a good passage of play, a good shot from Eddie, a good ball from David, and then Eddie, smooth first touch, and then in the line of sight, of course, of the goalkeeper, the custodian, and once again the third corner this time. Eddie Hernandez, it was his second shot. And now Kasimov with a chance. Another set piece, and like you mentioned, in games like these, set pieces become very, very important.
That's right, but a chance for Mohammedans right now to break the deadlock. A good corner, but a header for clearance comes again. They've been getting set pieces, but Aizawl FC was the defending and have been doing a good job. Because if you've seen a good passage of play, like you mentioned, good number of passes from Kasimov to David, David to Eddie Hernandez, and then the chance, that shot, but still a great save from Fernandez, and that's the reason it's still a deadlock. So yes, the fans are enjoying good football. Right now it seems like some more medical attention is required as Kiwan stays down.
Off the woodwork, off the woodwork. Eddie could have broken the deadlock. Fortune favors the brave. You be brave, you have a few shots inside, you're attacking third and you get a golden opportunity like you got in that one. Off the woodwork, and of course, back in the midfield, a tussle for possession. Mohammedan playing well, a good passage of play, a good couple of shots, both of them coming from Eddie with that center of attention. But of course, against the run of play now, Aizawl FC using the right flank with a gentle push near the penalty box, but Mohammedan SC, the ball still not in safe waters for them, is it? The flag was up. The flag was up, and possession shifts offside for the hosts. Less than 10 minutes remaining on the clock before we break for the first half. The story of the game, 0-0. There have been a few chances, but mostly from the visitors, who've looked a tad better than what they were looking in the previous game against Real Kashmir. Of course, it was a 3-0 loss. It was a 3-0 blanking at the hands of Real Kashmir. Presently, strong contenders for the title as well, like Mohammedan. Now, Irshad, what can he do in the defensive department? Slams the ball forward. What a game we're having.
They have been aggressive, and Eddie Hernandez deserves special mention. Taking those shots, those headers, keeping a couple of them on target. But it's just that Fernandez has been busy. Aizawl FC's defense line has been busy. And I think they're also doing a great job defending, keeping that clean sheet. But right now a move, a counter. Aizawl FC have a chance to break that deadlock. From the right is Tharpuya making that run. He sets it up. A header! But this time for clearance from Irshad.
Against the run of play, things can happen. You can weave magic on the counter. And of course, another set piece. They have to be much better than what they had done in the previous set piece. Of course, this time it is Amavia will be taking that set piece. He has to deliver the ball with precision and with accuracy. The second corner for the hosts. And can they give their fans something to cheer for? Chance for Amavia to fix things and rectify. Now a good ball in. But the defensive troops rising up to the occasion of Mohammedan once again. They've done well. Kasimov this time on the right flank. But loses out possession, a misdirected pass. This time it is, of course, Aizawl FC. Crowd swinging into action. They're loving this game of football over here. Now, on the counter, they're tearing forward on the counter here, Varun. This looks promising. And just when I said promising, I just gave that commentator's jinx, the commentator's curse like they say. But the threat's still not over for Mohammedan SC's defense line.
With a loud cry and a loud shout from the fans out there. Last couple of minutes have been great for the hosts. A couple of counters, almost making it, almost breaking that deadlock. And Tharpuya has been brilliant with those runs. And this is what you need when the team is down and is busy defending. It's still a deadlock, but Aizawl FC are looking better and the fans are also enjoying it, and this is what you need in games like this. You settle down with the defense line, you don't concede, you keep your calm, and then you look better up front. And Aizawl FC have been so good in the last few minutes. They're trying to make a comeback. They're not a goal down, that's the best part, because they have not conceded. When Mohammedan was a threat, they didn't score, and that is going to be a concern for Andriy Chernyshov.
Absolutely, Aizawl FC with that comeback, and if they can keep it 0-0, a half-time talk, some words of motivation from the head coach, and they could be a different looking side in the second half. We've seen that in the past as well from Aizawl FC. They've been punching above their weight in this season. They could well be contenders. There's a lot of games left in the ongoing I-League. Irshad couldn't really clear it. But possession with Mohammedan once again.
Well, I think this is what you need. A while back, Irshad, along with James Vidika Dinga, they were playing quite freely in the defense line. But right now, if you see, they're feeling a bit of pressure because Zuhaira or maybe Amawaya are trying to stop those build-ups that was happening from the defense line. So Mohammedan have to get back in the game, that lethal game that they were playing up front, and they're missing out on it.
Amavia has had 3 assists in the tournament so far, so we know that he can deliver in those balls with those crosses. Now a tussle for possession, and the battle won by Mohammedan. They've been brought down, and once again the animated coach Mohammedan asking for a foul. He seems to be in a lot of pain. Once again we'll see the replay of how things panned out. I think he just hit his stomach on that occasion. Kasimov, he's been brought down, and on the sidelines the animated coach of Mohammedan SC immediately swinging into action, and the referee is flashing a little warning to the head coach. Don't really want a card and miss out on the next game. Kasimov seems to be in a lot of pain. The team doctor swinging into action, giving him a little ice pack on his stomach and on the thighs. Irshad getting into the action as well, not happy with the referee's decision. There's been no fouls in this game so far. There's been no cards that has been flashed in the game so far. We had a fair game in the eyes of the referee so far at the Rajiv Gandhi Stadium, of course, in Aizawl. Kasimov, just like a phoenix, rises from the ashes. He's up with a little bit of a support from Zudika. Yes, he is going to play. Now a set piece once again for Mohammedan SC. And are we going to see a change in their fortunes at the stroke of half time? Kasimov
Not a change of fortune, but with the first card, Boomba, it's commentator's curse. You're just mentioning no cards been seen, but that was the first yellow. It was given to Chinza of Aizawl FC for the challenge on Zvedika. And Aizawl FC conceding the first card of the game. And the challenge happened in front of the Mohammedan SC technical area. Eddie Hernandez looking for the ball. Gustavo comes up front. A turn taken. Riata makes that run. Is looking for options and is out of it. So quick challenge from Kasimov, but not a good pass out there. So it's Aizawl from the right. But then Tharpuya couldn't collect it.
Just about less than 2 minutes remaining of regulation time in this half in Mohammedan SC. Can they get a goal? Trying to push the ball. Kasimov, Eddie. He's been brought down. And the second card, this time of course, to jersey number 23, Juan Carlos. Just when I mentioned that there was no card, there's been a couple of cards that has been flashed at the game. Adinga just speaking to the referee. They're having a quick chat with the referee, challenging their decision. It's the captain, Adinga, making sure he's in the line of fire for the team. Juan just had a touch. It was in the line of sight of the referee. And back in possession of the men in red with less than a minute left in the regulation time. We're hoping to get the momentum back on track. Now flashes the ball in. And that's the first touch should have been a bit more smoother. Threat still not over from the left flank. 1 versus 3. Kozlov does well to clear the threat. Of course, it is Padam Chetri, the custodian of Mohammedan SC, with the ball again. It's a goal kick.
Aizawl FC are looking a little better compared to how they started the game. Chuzuhera as well, along with Amawaya and Tharpuya, trying their best to create chances, making those runs, and also trying to assist Riyad up front. That's the reason the visitors will be concerned. They had their chances, they took shots, they kept it on target, but couldn't score. And right now, it has been a turnaround, and Aizawl FC are looking better. And it looks like anybody's game. And Rishan Shaw wants to get back to winning ways after that first loss this campaign in the last game. Aizawl FC are putting up a tough challenge. Added time, 3 minutes.
You can suddenly feel the heat in the stadium. You can suddenly feel the heat in the pitch. There've been a barrage of fouls. There've been a string of fouls, a couple of yellow cards as well. And this promises to be a good game. Eddie making sure that he's pressing, just making sure that the defensive troops of Aizawl FC are on their toes. That's a misdirected pass, and back in possession with Mohammedan. Now from the right flank, David, it was Eddie, gives it to David, one-on-one with the keeper, and the keeper does so well. He was one-on-one with David and does exceptionally well. The threat still not over, but what fine prowess from Fernandez, just rising up to the occasion. One-on-one, kept his nerves, absolute steely nerves on that occasion, Varun.
That's right, Boomba. The visitors could have wrapped up the first half in style, because David, the splendid David, who had a chance, and he's the one who's known for scoring always, but this time, outstanding save from Fernandez, and that's why that loud cheer from the fans. Tharpuya getting up quickly and getting a corner. Aizawl FC have been brilliant in the last quarter, especially both in the defensive department and up front too, creating chances, stopping Mohammedan, and this time I think it was the best chance for Mohammedan. 1-1, but David was stopped by Fernandez. Outstanding save, and right now it's a chance for Aizawl FC to wrap up the first half in style. They've got a corner, and this might be the first action, the last action of the first half.
Absolutely, it is Tharpuya who's going to take that set piece. Momentum presently with Aizawl FC, like you mentioned, Varun. And can Tarpuya do something spectacular? A little bit of a variation while taking that corner. But they have to deliver in a good ball. It's a decent delivery, but Eddie clears the ball on the counter. Mohammedan SC, that's a good pass, of course, to Kozlov. Kozlov slaps in the ball. Remsanga. There was a little bit of an awkward bounce in front of Fernandez, but Fernandez has been challenged on quite a few occasions. He's been so good, especially with that last save. And with that, we wrap up the first half. It's been clinical display from both the teams. Mohammedan SC starting off. They started off as favourites, of course. They started off with their tag so well. And of course, Aizawl FC, the hosts, showing signs of nerves, showing resilience. They've done so well. And now we'll take a quick look at the stats of the first half. But it's been end-to-end action, Varun.
That's right, Boomba. And special mention for Fernandez, Aizawl FC's goalkeeper. He's the reason that it's still a clean sheet for Aizawl FC. Looking at the stats, ball possession in favour of Mohammedan SC. They took 7 shots, kept 3 on target and none for Aizawl FC. 10 fouls, 5 each and 1 yellow card for Mohammedan SC, conceded by Juan Neller. Chinza also had to see a yellow and no red cards yet, but 6 corners, 3 each, no goals scored in the first half. And great saves from Fernandez. David had a chance. Fernandez struck the woodwork. 3 shots from Aizawl FC. 1 apiece from Amawaya, Ivan and Mafela.
That's right, of course. We'll see Mohammedan SC's shots shortly. But it's been good action. There have been 7 shots from the visitors. David, the youngster, of course, 2. Eddie, 2. On target, of course, Juan with that 1. And Kasimov and Remsanga, who were in the flanks, who delivered in those crosses really well. They've had a few shots as well. Mohammedan SC and Aizawl FC. Fouls, of course, 5 fouls. Amawiya with 2 fouls. Mafela, Tarpuya and Chinza with those fouls as well. Chinza getting a yellow card towards the end of the first half, of course. And Mohammedan, Juan getting that little yellow card. David, Hernandez, Remsanga, Zudika, all of them in the books of the referee. We've had a good game, especially in the last quarter. Things heated up. There were a few yellow cards that were flashed, and it was a fine display of footballing prowess. We can expect the game to have a good end. Mohammedan SC locking horns with Aizawl FC, of course. Mohammedan FC have their task cut out. They are 4 points clear of Real Kashmir FC, having played a game less. A win today, and they would further solidify their position at the top of the points table, Varun.
That's right, Boomba. And then looking forward to it, but it seems like it's going to be tough for them. The start was good for the visitors. They were getting chances, took shots, kept a few on target, but then Aizawl FC looked so good. Swedika, this was the moment he was asking for a penalty. Then Mohammedan from the left, they were looking lethal. Kasimov falling, winning that set piece. And then few more moves. Tough challenge from Chinza on Kasimov near Mohammedan SC's dugout. The first yellow card of the game. And after that, Aizawl FC gaining possession, playing passes. Tough challenges from both the sides. Great passes being played. Good passage of plays for Mohammedan. They penetrated, took entries inside the penalty area, but it was Fernandez stopping all those shots. Beat 1-1 or long ranges. So great job done by Fernandez and his defense line. And Mohammedan could have done better, and that might be the discussion for them in the dressing room right now. And if you missed out on the action, here are the highlights of the first half for you. Greetings exchanged, and then Aizawl FC, who are looking forward to getting back to winning ways after 2 back-to-back 1-1 draws. And Mohammedan, after a 3-0 loss, they also were looking forward to keeping a clean sheet and getting a victory. This was the first few moves, one of the first few moves in the first half. From the left, Mohammedan looked lethal. Eddie Hernandez with that strike, went off the target, had a lot of power. He was looking for the corner. And then great passes from the whole team. Eddie Hernandez took charge, took shots, and Fernandez was brilliant between the sticks for Aizawl, Boomba.
Absolutely. I mean, he's been the man to watch out for. Fernandez. This was David with that good ball forward to Eddie, who took a shot, but then a couple of great saves, a couple of spectacular saves from Fernandez, who's been in the thick of things today. Mohammedan using the left flank really well. Eddie had a couple of chances. This was off the woodwork, probably one of the closest chances. They did get a couple of corners here, Aizawl FC, but failed to capitalize on it. The defensive troops of Mohammedan SC being tested. And of course, Eddie again. This was David one-on-one with the keeper, and the keeper keeping his nerves of steel, and the crowd loved that little save. That was box office action that we witnessed in the first half. There were a few yellow cards that were flashed as well, a few good shots, and once again, if we focus on this game, just needed to put it out of the line of sight of the goalkeeper. But we draw curtains to the first half. We'll be back shortly. Do not go anywhere. As we promise, this game has a good end.
An entertaining first half. The deadlock at the Rajiv Gandhi Stadium. Aizawl FC versus Mohammedan SC. Scorelines 0-0, but there have been chances. Better chances for Mohammedan. Minimal, but good ones for Aizawl. But the best ones were for the visitors, and they missed it out. This is Kaushik Varun welcoming you back. And with me in the commentary box is Boomba. 0-0 scoreline, but could have been better. Could have been in the favor of the visitors, but they couldn't. But yes, a lot of applause and appreciation for Fernandes too for those great saves, Boomba.
Thank you, Varun. Now a chance for Eddie. Takes a crack on the goal, but once again, like the story was in the first half, it's a way off the goal post. A change in sides, and can there be a change in fortunes? Once again, if you can see, Eddie had a good touch and then took a crack on the goal, but way past the goal post. There's a change in sides. There was a good time for both the sides to revitalize their strategies, go back to the drawing board, see how they can do a tad bit better. And now we're back for the second half, what promises to be an entertaining one. Of course, both the sides playing with the 4-3-3 formation. Mohammedan SC from the right flank to clear. Now right at the stroke of half-time for the Whites, who are just joining now. There was a good chance for David, who was one-on-one with the goalkeeper of Aizawl FC, Fernandes. But now, the action towards the sideline and possession favored in favor of the visitors, of course. And there's been a quick change. Vikas Singh replaces Koslov, possibly in the left flank. Vikas Singh gets a full half to his name, and he would have his task cut out. Mohammedan SC delivers the ball away from their defensive third.
That's the confirmation of the substitution. Kozlov making way for Vikas, and the first substitution coming from the visitors. Kozlov making those runs from the left, and the last cross that he did to wrap up the first half from the left kind of had a niggle injury, and maybe that's the reason the coach benched him. And Eddie Hernandez has been brilliant. His presence is the reason that Aizawl FC is feeling the heat, the pressure, but still those shots, those chances, those header, a little unlucky sometimes and sometimes missing the target, but he's trying his best, Eddie Hernandez. Boomba.
Absolutely, Eddie Hernandez in the thick of things in the first half, in the second half as well. Now that's a good ball. There's a lot of space, but the flag goes up. And a chance gone begging on that occasion for Vikas Singh, who had an opportunity to instantly leave a lasting impression in the game. Vikas Singh on your screen just replaced a Kozlov in the left flank. And of course today in the right flank we have Ramsanga. And of course in the centre forward region we have the talented David Lalsanga, who scored 4 goals in the I-League and was the poster boy for Mohammedan SC. He's playing against his former club, Aizawl FC. Scored 6 goals in the Durand Cup, and now he'll have a good chance to do something special. Now Mohammedan SC in their defensive third. Aizawl FC pressing, trying to gain back the possession. Tussle for supremacy in the midfield. Eddie couldn't really keep control. Once again back in possession with Eddie. No, that's good work on the defensive line for the men in red. Cleared away by jersey number 9 of Aizawl FC, of course, Thapuia.
A good start for Mohammedan. Eddie Hernandez taking that shot, but after that Aizawl FC trying to gain back that same momentum that they had in the last quarter of the first half. And the discussions, the web talks will have that impact on the field right now. Andrew Chernyshov might be concerned a bit because his team missed out on chances to get those goals. And Aizawl FC, Bobby Sojorski, knows he has to do better. And war out there before that throw in. Aizawl FC will try their best to create chances from spaces like these when they're near to the opponent's goal area. The captain taking the throw in, Joe Zohera.
Absolutely, that's a good throw in, but once again defended well by the men in white, who clear the ball away from Their defensive third once again. Can't really keep control on those passes. They're executing the passes well, but they are not being able to keep it in control. A similar story in the first quarter of the game. Aizawl FC now Eddie, who was pressing in the previous half as well, pressing as well. He has to be one of the fittest footballers. Now once again the ball goes outside the sideline. I think Irshad over there just had a little pull back with Aizawl FC. Aizawl FC the hosts. There's been a decent number of people in the crowd today enjoying their game of football. Now from the defensive third, Shinza. Shinza do flashes the ball forward. Misdirected pass, and once again with the men in white. Tussle in the air for possession. Aizawl FC marching forward here in the midfield. It's the captain. Now that's a good interception on the counter. They're tearing forward. Vikas Singh gets a little push, but fair in the eyes of the referee. But that's brilliant defending from Shinza. Executes that sliding tackle and makes sure that he stops Vikas Singh on the track.
That's right, a brilliant tackle. He has already conceded a yellow. Has to be careful for the rest of the game, but still, valiant challenge. Long ball goes straight to Fernandez, and we see one of the visitors lying down. It seems like it's Adinga. No, I think having a discussion with the referee regarding the challenge, and it's David who's down. The referee gave an advantage out there.
I think it's going to be a quick substitution, is it?
But that's Gustavo suggesting.
Exactly. Mind games, I tell you, Varun over here. Mind games. They know that David is a threat. David is a threat, and Gustavo just showing his funny side to the entire world. And of course, Fernandez has had a very, very busy first half. He'd be hoping that he's not busy. None of the goalkeepers want a busy day in office. They want a clean sheet. But with the way things are progressing, it seems like both the goalkeepers can maintain a clean sheet.
That's right, because Eddie Hernandez, that shot was very powerful. He stopped it. And then David had a 1:1 chance, and he stopped that too. Had he conceded, no one would have blamed Fernandez, but those great saves are the reason that Aizawl FC are still in the game, and it's still a deadlock. Another challenge, and the referee says the game is on. David with the challenge now. No foul, says the referee. Mohammedan have got back the possession. They're making a move this time, a little towards the right, towards the midline now. Eddie Hernandez challenged by Gustavo. From the left now, it's Adinga, captain, looking for an opening, finds it, creates space, a bit of deflection. Hernandez couldn't collect, and the grounder clearance back to Adinga. Creates pressure, and Aizawl FC, loads of missed passes out there, giving gifts in form of possession to the visitors. Struggle for possession, deflection. Eddie Hernandez will not get it. A header clearance, Zwidika to Nuelar. From the right, another challenge, and finally it's a foul just outside the area. Mohammedan got a set piece, and that too from a gettable distance, Boomba.
Absolutely, this possibly could be the first real chance in the second half for Mohammedan SC, and of course the man who's been taking all the set pieces, Kasimov, once again swinging into action. But like you mentioned, Varun, there were a lot of misdirected passes, and you cannot afford to have misdirected passes in your defensive third. That simply lays your entire defensive line open. Those really could well backfire, but now a set piece, and there is a formation of the wall. A chance. Adinga, Kasimov, who's it going to be? Who's going to take that set piece? It is Adinga, but the wall swinging into action. It's a fortified wall over there. That was the reason why Mohammedan couldn't get an insertion from that using the left flank. Vikas Singh gives that gentle push in the midfield, of course, this time. Now back Qasimov. Now Irshad. Eddie. Now from the left flank, they're tearing forward. The men in red. Now that's a good ball forward, but just a little bit too much power on that pass. Vikas Singh. Now the captain Adinga. It's been a good passage of play for Mohammedan SC, except the last passage of play. They've been in the driving seat in this half. Eddie Howe. David. For Eddie. Now Eddie has a chance. Takes a crack on the goal. And once again, it's the same story. Eddie getting a little bit of an opportunity, but not being able to capitalize on that.
Eddie Hernandez should have done better out there, but then great defending from Aizawl FC. Look at that kind of celebration, because he knew that save was very important. Point blank range. If there was no blocking to the shot, Fernandez nothing to do but concede it. Great defending, good chance. Mohammedan still struggling to score. Qasimov, great move, sets it up. A deflected header goes to Eddie Hernandez. He sets it up, shot taken and off the target. Pressure mounting on Aizawl FC. Another corner, back-to-back set pieces. Mohammedan getting a chance but still not scoring yet.
Back-to-back corners for the visitors over here. Back-to-back threats for the hosts. Can we see a change in the scoreline? Qasimov, the man who's been taking all the set pieces, he needs a good delivery. There you can see the fifth corner. It is a little bit of a variation back to Qasimov. Qasimov now marching forward near the edge of the penalty box, takes that shot. Now a chance for the goalkeeper. And once again, it is the goalkeeper who does well, but he's hurt himself in that process.
And I think the flag also went up for offside. Fernandez is struggling, it seems, with the fingers, or maybe somewhere around the wrist area. But must say, Aizawl FC feeling the heat, feeling the pressure, but still they're performing so well in that defensive area. They all are busy, Fernandez too, but still they are keeping that clean sheet. Qasimov with 2 shots and he had a chance. A curler and then that header to on target. Fernandez stopping it. Quick reflexes. Great saves tonight from Fernandez, and he is the major reason, and he will be the major reason if Aizawl FC get a point.
Absolutely, a little blow towards the wrist, of course, of Fernandez. But just like a phoenix rises from the ashes, he's wearing his gloves. He's saying, I'm going to be between the sticks. Physiotherapist is making sure that he's receiving medical attention. Now, we're reaching the hour mark in this game. We're reaching the hour mark, and the story of the game has been 0-0 so far. Aizawl FC would be hoping to shift the entire action away from their defensive third. This time from the right flank, misdirected pass again, back in possession with Mohammedan SC. Irshad slaps the ball forward in the midfield. The ball goes outside. No, it's still in play. Gives the gentle push to David. David has to be a little creative. He's a wily customer, but this time loses on possession using the left flank over here. The men in red. It's the captain. Adinga clears the ball. Back in possession with Aizawl FC. It's going to be, of course, the captain Zohera who's going to take that throw in. Takes a long one inside the defensive third. Once again, header clearance from Mohammedan SC. Captain in the spotlight.
Back-to-back throw-ins, and Aizawl FC are just enjoying this phase. They are looking again good. The back-flick header. Padam Chetri comes out, collects it. Ball possession, Mohammedan is enjoying right now, but still with that minimal ball possession, they are creating chances, and the home team is looking good when they are playing the ball. Some passes in that midfield area, making those runs. But still, they have to be more consistent if they want to break the deadlock. They have that potential that they are showing, but it's just that they're feeling dominated whenever is that phase for Mohammedan, who kind of ruling sometimes.
This time Madinga. To James, back to Irshad. Irshad gives it towards the right back, slams the ball forward. Eddie couldn't really get in front of him. Eddie is a tall guy. And if he couldn't reach to it, it was an improbable task, it seems. Ball once again goes outside the sideline. We've crossed the hour mark. Mohammedan SC, they've received a plethora of options, but they've not been able to cash in on those opportunities. David this time, 1 versus 2, gives it behind to Qasimov, but back in possession with Aizawl FC, turning forward on the counter, takes a wild hit, believing in his luck, but this is not the time to be tempted by luck. This is the game of skill. Irshad giving it back to the goalkeeper.
Over-ambitious effort out there, I think. There was a lot of distance and he still went for it. He could have made the run, looked for options, which he had in both the flanks. But still, I think he saw that Padam was out of his place, tried to do a knuckleball hit, not a good connect, and wasting that half chance out there, which could have been converted into a good one to score the first one in the game.
Absolutely, it was a good counter, but he just made that chance go down the drain on that occasion. Now from the left flank, he has a little bit of an open space. Bikash, what can he do? He has to show a few skills, gives that gentle push to Hames, of course it was. Now from the left once again, Bikash is facing a lot of competition. Back to the skipper, Adinga. Adinga gives that gentle push, believing in slick passing. Chetri gives it to Irshad. Irshad, of course, gives it towards the right. Qasimov. The crowd playing their part as well. The moment Aizawl FC has possession, the crowd immediately jumping into the action. What an atmosphere we're having at the Rajiv Gandhi Stadium in Aizawl in Mizoram. This time, of course, it is Zudika who's having a quick chat with the referee. And now a set piece for the men in red. A set piece for them. Or can they do something out of the box? Can they get their hands on that first goal? Goes Aizawl FC coach Bobby Strajowski, just having a quick chat with his team manager. Now, is there going to be a variation in that set piece? Of course, Amavia who takes that cross, and of course it was blocked well by the Mohammedan SC defensive department. And there you can see Varun. David once again jumping back into the defensive line. What a versatile player he's been. He's been in the thick of things, but he has to jump into form. He has to be a tad better in those finishing touches. Aizawl FC desperate for that goal. Desperate for that goal, but they have to work a bit harder. Clears the ball, and the ball comes towards the crowd. Gustavo, what an animated character. What a personality he is, Varun.
That's right, interesting. And I think you were talking about the discussion, Boomba, with coach and the manager. I think he was planning for the substitutions. As we see, two Aizawl FC substitutes getting ready in the sidelines and getting ready for this first substitution for the home side. And Mohammedan looking for the first strike. David from the midline sets it up. Qasimov to the right inside the area. Mohammedan looking for an opening. Come out of the area, take the shot, has been blocked. Aizawl FC have gifted away possession again. Adinga to the left, Bikash with a missed pass, an easy interception and then losing possession again. From the left, Adinga with the setup, Gustavo with the header and a throw in, and it seems like it's going to be a substitution right now for Aizawl FC. Double substitution.
Absolutely. I mean, for Aizawl FC, their manager, their coach wants fresh legs. And of course, jersey number 17 and jersey number 30 will be into the scheme of things. Of course, Ramsanga and Sheikh Sahil will be replacing jersey number 17, the Polish Zaborowski, and of course, Mofela. Fresh legs. Now, can they change their fortunes? Can it change the fortunes of the hosts, who've been getting a lot of threat from Mohammedan SC, but they have punched above their weight. They've done exceedingly well in this game. They've had a couple of draws in the previous matches. It's going to be their third consecutive draw if they cannot get a goal. And of course, remember guys, this is the reverse fixture in the game which happened in the last week of October. It was a 2-1 victory for Mohammedan SC. Now, can they complete a double over Aizawl FC?
Well, they started off pretty well. They had their chances. Things are looking a little different right now. And it seems like it's Gustavo who's struggling. The referee had given an advantage out there. Adinga gave that pass and then challenged. A tough one from the captain out there. Gustavo getting injured, and he has been playing a very important role in the defensive department. So I hope there's no substitution, and it's going to be the same hope for Bobby Stojowski too. Gustavo, very important for him to stay on the field, very important for his team. And Andrew Chernyshov, the only concern for him right now that his team is doing all that they can, taking shots, keeping them on target, creating chances, playing passes, but it's just that they're not scoring, not finding the back of the net.
Absolutely, Varun. Gustavo is a towering personality in the defensive department. And now, just a while back, he was asking for a substitution of David. And he had almost reached the space where he was being substituted.
That's right. And talking about, like what you mentioned, the pair of fresh legs, Aizawl FC, in form of Ramsanga and Sahil. It might work for the coach, because Fela Rafal is not that effective. Ramsanga, Sahil have a lot of time to prove themselves and show their impact. Gustavo coming back in action, has been fouled again, and you can see Bobo Stoyevsky is asking for a card from the referee. Gustavo has been brilliant with his efforts all around.
There you can see Gustavo once again in the scheme of things. He's wearing alternate boots, alternate colored boots as well. Probably a bit superstitious on that occasion. And now delivers the ball, but the flag was up.
Was it a flag up or was it a foul?
Seems like it was a foul.
Foul.
It was a foul, yes. Now a chance for Aizawl FC. This is just outside the penalty box. Varun, it's game on.
That's right. Looking at the replay will make it clear. This was moments after the foul was committed. And it's again a gettable distance, 69 plus minutes. Mohammedan SC trying their best to score, but right now against the run of play, Aizawl FC got a chance. And these are the chances you have to avail, you have to capitalize to break the deadlock. And a chance for Ramsanga. It can be a super sub, a chance for Tharpuia.
Absolutely. It is Ramsanga, but good work on the defensive department over there. The wall once again swing into action, but I think it's just gotten injured on that occasion. Ramsanga, so a couple of Ramsangas facing off against each other, and this seems to be, he seems to be in a lot of pain on this occasion, Ramsanga. It's been a good force for Mohammedan SC in the midfield. They cannot be missing out on his services over here. but he's back. I think just a quick check on his head. He's putting a little bit of water, making sure that he's back to 100% fitness. There's still a lot of game to be played. 20 minutes left in this match of regulation time post that injury time. So a lot of chance for both the teams. A lot of time, in fact, for both the teams to get that first goal and to break that deadlock. Referee doesn't want to waste any further time and asking Remsanga to go outside the sidelines and take a quick check. So briefly, it is Mohammedan who's going to play with a 10-man team. Now Mohammedan SC's goalkeeper Padam Chetri asking the defenders to go ahead. He's going to take the traditional method of goal kick. Padam Chetri between the sticks takes that goal kick. Tussle for possession in the air and back with Fernandez. Fernandez quick enough to give it towards the left back. Marching forward here, Aizawl FC, another misdirected passes. A lot of misdirected passes, Varun, in the back line. And this is a pertinent problem for Aizawl FC.
That's right, Bomba. This is the area they have to work on, because when they have created chances, though minimal, they have shown that the team has potential. But then those missed passes bothered them a lot. They lost out on possession, and that too near their own goal area, which is the reason that Mohammedan has put up a lot of pressure. And the problem for Mohammedan SC is that they have not scored. They took shots, headers, ran out of luck a couple of times, but the shots, to being on target, Fernandez stopped those brilliant saves a couple of times. So Mohammedan sometimes out of luck, sometimes not finding the target. And Aizawl FC, if they score, it's going to be a big win for them, because they have not created that many chances. They had no shots on target in the first half, but still, sometimes with their counters, they are creating pressure on the Mohammedan defense line.
Absolutely, with those counters and with the crowd support, things can change in a jiffy. This is football. This is so unpredictable. Against the run of play, in the counter, a goal scored, and the entire hard work of the opposition team goes down the drain. This time Eddie, of course, in the midfield. Irshad now back to save shores the ball for Mohammedan. I think he's going to need some medical attention in the midfield. Oh, I think he's gotten himself a hamstring pull. It's very important to keep yourself hydrated to avoid hamstring pulls. You can see the physio is being called. Is he going to be stretched off, or is it just going to be a quick checkup?
And the fourth official coming to Andriy Chernyshov, I think asking him to cool down a bit. Maybe Henry wants the game to continue quickly. He's asking for a quick restart. But then if a player is down, the referee has to wait for medical attention to come in. And then if it takes longer, then he'll be calling out for the stretcher. It's Chinza who's down, and the fans out here have been superb. They have been waiting for a goal from their favorite team, have not scored, but those saves and those minimal chances have created an electrifying atmosphere out here at the Rajiv Gandhi Stadium. Chinza is getting up, and the referee wants him to go out quickly so that the restart can be done. And these are the number of fans out here. Good to see that on a chilly evening, you can call it a night right now, and they are enjoying it out here.
Absolutely, in their warm clothes, enjoying a good game of football. There's end-to-end action, a lot of resilience being shown from Aizawl FC with those constant threats from Mohammedan SC. They've been extremely good in the defensive department, but now the attack line, especially their wingers, have to step into the action and put their foot on the accelerator. Irshad gives it to Juan. Juan, of course, has a yellow card. The one who's joining just right now gives it towards the left flank. Adinga it is. He had Bikash over there. Decides to give it the midfield. Now Back in possession with Mohammedan SC. Mohammedan SC, of course, table toppers presently. They are 4 points clear of Real Kashmir SC. They have their eyes on the prize, of course. Promotion to the top tier league of India, the Indian Super League. Now a chance, brought down just outside the penalty box. Seems like it is fair in the eyes of the referee and a card will not be flashed. But you never know, whatever I say, things just happen in the opposite way.
Right now it's a substitution that's happening, and this was that move. Tough challenge. Not on the ball from Ivan, directly player. And another chance for Mohammedan. Another instance of gettable distance, and it's Chinzao's going out. Valpuya coming and joining the starting 11.
Our player running alone to goal post. He made foul, nothing.
Number of men in the wall, 6. 5 plus 1. That plus 1. Try to stop that grounder. Kasimov gets ready. Will it be Kasimov taking the shot? He takes it, a collar on target. And Fernandez knew it's coming to him. And a safe and sound collection. He has looked very, very confident tonight.
Absolutely, Fernandez, every single time the ball comes to him, he's like a magnet, not wanting to leave the ball. And that's been the entire reason why Aizawl FC has been in this game. There have been a number of incoming threats from Mohammedan SC in the first half, towards the end of the first half, in the second half as well. Curlers are always tough. But he has been a man on a mission. But now Aizawl FC once again against the runner play with a set piece. And it's going to be Amawiya who has a chance. He's had 3 assists so far, but he cannot get his 4th assist if he gives such wayward deliveries. Ball once again goes outside the sidelines. Juan it was. What a game of football we're having at the Rajiv Gandhi Stadium. End-to-end action. Mohammedan SC being challenged constantly by the men in red. It's their captain once again. Aizawl FC takes a long throw in, trying to make it a potential corner. And now cleared away brilliantly by Mohammedan SC. And now on the counter, they're tearing forward on the counter. There's a lot of open space, but he's been brought down. And now a chance and cleared away. What a passage of play. I need to catch my breath because this is exhilarating action here, Varun.
That's right. There was a foul, but the referee gave the advantage out there. Gustavo might see the yellow after the ball goes out of play. But great move on the counter from Mohammedan. There was a chance for Aizawl. They messed it up, and then the visitors on the run almost reached the penalty area but couldn't penetrate. And they're struggling right now. They know they have got shots, they created chances, but it's just that they have not been clinical. Another challenge, another restart. And again for Mohammedan SC. Kasimov gets ready, and I think a point for Aizawl FC will be a lot because they're facing the table toppers right now. Mohammedan SC, I think they need the win desperately to get back to better ways after that outing in the last one.
Absolutely, Kasimov it is. This time once again with the set piece, and Mohammedan SC right at the top of the points table. Presently, they have 8 wins in their game so far. And of course the ball once again goes outside the goal line. Kasimov, with all those set pieces, he's not been able to find the back of the net. And now a set piece. The defenders are on their toes. It's going to be Bikash Singh who's going to take that little set piece for the visitors. Slaps the ball forward once again. Was a wayward delivery, very tough for the Mohammedan SC player to put in that header, of course, even if he was near the ball. Now in the midfield again, it's the captain, Adinga. And header clearance again, ball goes outside the sideline. Most of the action taking place in the attacking third of Mohammedan SC. They've just not been able to capitalize on those chances. There have been a truckload of set pieces, corners, free kicks, but none of it materializing into a goal. That must be frustrating for the Mohammedan SC players.
That's right. An action-packed game, but the only problem, I think, has been from those set pieces, from those corners. The setups have not been great. If you've noticed, most of them struck the wall, or some of the instances, the corners, a lot of weight. The touch was made. So the restarts have not been great, but from open play, both the teams creating chances, and right now, things are heating up. The number of fouls have been more compared to the rest of the game. Another card shown, and this time it's for the captain. Adinga concedes the yellow.
The third yellow card for Mohammedan SC. There you can see challenging the Aizawl FC player Adinga on that occasion, and that was not legal in the eyes of the referee. And the third yellow card for the visitors. Less than 10 minutes remaining. On the clock. Less than 10 minutes remaining on the clock for regulation time, of course. Oh, and a yellow card has been flashed. This time has been flashed to the manager of Aizawl FC. There were a few words spoken.
I think for Mohammedan Sporting.
For Mohammedan Sporting, I beg your pardon. For Mohammedan Sporting, a yellow card has been flashed to the manager. Now, straight into the hands, of course. A little bit of a flip up, but straight into the hands of Padam Chetri.
Another chance from a restart. This time there was a lot of distance, but could have been better for a setup. And Adinga has to keep his cool. Being the captain, has to lead the team. Look for the goal. They're looking for it right now. David inside the area. The angle's tough. David sets it up. And Eddie Hernandez. How can he miss from that distance? A perfect chance for the visitors to get those 3 points and get the first strike of the game. Eddie Hernandez could have done better out there.
Absolutely, Varun. That sums up the entire night for Mohammedan SC. Plenty of chances, but just not getting that finishing touch. This time, of course, it was David. Slapped in that cross from the left flank. It was a tough angle, but Eddie, he's had a lot of chances, but that finishing touch is just lacking from his boots today. Eddie would be very, very disappointed if the match ends in a stalemate or in a loss, because he's really had a lot of chances today. Now Aizawl FC, they're walking on thin ice.
That's right. You get so many chances. You get 90 minutes to play, and then you don't score any in a game where you need 3 points to get back to winning ways. That's not going to be a good game. A bad day at office for Eddie Hernandez so far. Pikash from the left. Another move for Mohammedan. Kasimov looking for options on the right. He finds Zuan Nellar to the extreme right. Another move inside the area. Eddie Hernandez waiting for the delivery. Well, he doesn't get it this time, and he will be repenting if the scoreline remains the same. Adinga with the shot has been blocked, but it's good for Mohammedan that they are always getting the second ball.
Absolutely, getting that second ball, getting another chance. And I'm not sure how many more chances they will be creating to get that first goal. Their coach would be pretty happy. It was a perfect opportunity for Mohammedan SC to bounce back into winning ways, especially after that loss. But things looking a bit challenging for them. Luck not being in favor. And another substitution, this time, of course, Joseph making his way into the turf. We're going to have a quick substitution. And of course, it is Aizawl FC's Riata who will be going off, of course, and Joseph. Fresh legs, fresh opportunity for them to do something special in their attacking third. But most of the action taking place in the attacking third of Mohammedan SC. They've received so many chances, just not being able to find the back of the net. Just sums up their entire day where they've had a lot of chances, of course. Now from the right flank. Couldn't really keep it under control, and now it's Kasimov. Gives that gentle push to Juan. Back to Kasimov. Kasimov marching forward here, but deflected well. And now it was David. Gives it to Juan. Juan couldn't really keep control. Now back in possession with Aizawl marching forward, but in the right place, in the right time. Adinga. Kasimov again. Been brought down this time, Kasimov, but back into his feet quite quickly. But you can see has to be at a distance.
Seems like the referee is calling out the player for a verbal caution. Ram Sanga has to leave, and it's Joseph who gets a verbal caution from the referee. Things are heating up. More action in the last quarter. More chances for Mohammedan, and it's still that they're not being clinical. David, sandwiched, loses possession. He's lucky his team gets it back. From the left, Mohammedan have been lethal. Up front, they have created chances, but still are looking for the first strike. And Aizawl have kept the clean sheet, and on rare occasions, they've built up, created chances, but not scored. And if they do, it's going to be really painful for the visitors. A setup from the right goes over Eddie Hernandez, doesn't reach Bikash. And Mohammedan collecting the second balls and creating chances again.
This time again from the right flank, slaps in that cross again, a wayward looking cross. Bikash does well to keep the ball in play. He's challenged by the defenders now. Marching forward here, David gives it to Adinga. Adinga slaps the ball, but of course it is the marker of the Mohammedan players who's got there again. Just sums up the entire frustrating night for Mohammedan. Kasimov with a shot which he will be regretting. Just a bit too much pressure on that shot. Kasimov, his fourth shot of the day. And as we close down on this game, of course, the regulation time, things definitely would be heating up. It's been an action-packed game so far, where there have been plenty of chances, mostly from Mohammedan SC's players' booths, but things as they lie, seems like it's going to be a stalemate.
A tale of missed chances for the visitors, especially Eddie Hernandez. The right place, the right time, then missing the chances. And Aizawl FC are 1-1. The flag stays down. Padam Chedri doing a good job. Good chance for Aizawl to break the deadlock, but Rhino is on the counter. Mohammedan SC. David versus Gustavo. Gustavo again doing a great job and also winning a foul. Gustavo has been brilliant.
Gustavo really has been absolutely clinical today in the defensive department, just making sure that the Mohammedan SC players do not have an easy night. Good chest control on that occasion, but brilliant defending over there by the captain Adinga, leading his troops from the front. And of course, it is Chernyshov asking his troops to fall back into their defensive third. They do not want to concede a goal over here. Now the captain of Aizawl FC with that quick throw in near the edge of the penalty box, but cleared away by Mohammedan SC. The threat still not over. Looking for a few options in the midfield. Back in possession with the Brazilian. The Brazilian slams the ball forward. And now again, a misdirected pass and they lose out possession. They're just not being able to get into those one-on-ones with the Mohammedan SC defenders. They're not winning the battles over there. The lack of accuracy is biting them. Once again, if you see on the turn, loses out possession. Just about a few more minutes remaining in this game. We slipped into injury time of this game at the Rajiv Gandhi Stadium. It's going to be Aizawl FC on the prowl once again, looking to taste that slice of victory with this goal. Off goes the whistle, slaps in that ball, but of course a defensive clearance, of course the header clearance now. Kasimov, what's he gonna do? He cannot afford to lose out on that ball. 5 minutes of added time, 5 minutes of more unprecedented drama and action.
Zwiedika struggling to keep possession. Rim Sanga got a touch. It's David, a good turn. Switches the attack to the left. Adinga to Bikash. They look forward to setting it up. Gives a pass. David. 3 defenders challenging him. He's asking for a foul. He has been challenged, but the referee says play on. And the technical area, Mohammedan not happy with that decision. Aizawl FC coming for counter. Is Amawaya from the right. A color set up. Not a good clearance. It's being chased by Walpuya. Amawaya struggling to gain possession. He gets it back from the right. It's a setter from Joseph and a shot not taken because the clearance comes from Irshad. He's asking for a goal kick, but it's a corner, says the referee.
Boy, oh boy, what kind of unprecedented drama we are witnessing. There you can see Irshad on that occasion trying to clear the ball. Aizawl FC have the momentum now, a set piece and a golden opportunity for them to score that first goal. There you can see it is the 5th corner, and now it is Amavia who slaps in the ball again. A poor delivery, and Eddie clears the ball. Threat still not over for the visitors. Mohammedan SC with their hearts in their mouths now. Once again, it's the men in red with that little throw in. It's the captain Zohera. He'll be trying to convert that into a long throw in. Now Irshad has to clear it. He clears it with perfection. Now in the midfield, tussle for possession. David has been pulled from behind by Sahil. Oh boy, you do not want this. This is not a sight you want to see on a football field. The two teams just clashing. The two teams just having a go at each other. Things heating up. This happens in injury time, especially the entire frustration of the entire game coming into the fore.
That's right. Things are heating up in the added time. 5 minutes and we are already halfway in the added time. Sahil out there with the challenge on David. It's not a good one and he deserves a card for it. He's asking for an apology, but it's too late to see that yellow, and he's lucky he'll not see the red. That strike out there was not needed because the whistle was blown by the referee. And look at that. You push the player after the foul's been given. And you strike, which is not needed out there. But he's trying to slow down things so that the score line remains the same.
Absolutely. Aizawl FC would be pretty happy that they can possibly salvage a draw from this game, but I think it was but a header clearance from the man in red, and the ball once again goes outside the sideline. Of course, it was Tarpuya who couldn't keep the ball in play. We are nearing to the end of this game, and this has been a good game of football. It's been like a pendulum swinging from one end to another, a tale of missed chances, of course, like you mentioned, Varun, a while back. Beautifully summed up. It's been missed chances by the visitors, and possibly
also a tale of commentators' curse.
Absolutely, commentators' curse. I would refrain from commenting anything on the scoreline of the game, but boy, less than a minute remaining in the game. There was that little push from behind Adinga, and in the line of sight of the referee. In possession again in favor of the hosts. It's going to be their captain. Crowd wanting a result. They spent the remaining and the past 2 hours, of course, being treated to a heart-throbbing match. They would want a result, but I think it's just a bit too late now. Eddie on the turn. The final whistle might be blown any time. Kasimov marching forward, looking for that open space, but of course loses out possession on the counter. And with that, the final whistle blows, and we draw curtains to what was an action-packed and a thrilling contest. Both the teams getting 1 point. It is Aizawl FC 0, Mohammedan SC 0. Aizawl FC 3 draws on the trot. Mohammedan SC a loss in the previous game and then can manage only 1 point. I think Varun, the happiest people on earth today would be Real Kashmir.
That's right. You did mention in the reverse fixture the scoreline was 2-1, 3 goals, and today also the chances were there, but I think Aizawl FC, what was turning out to be a bad day at the office for them, they turned it out into a good one defensively. They couldn't score, they created minimal chances, but were brilliant in terms of defending, and they just frustrated Mohammedan SC players. They had their chances, point blank ranges, great saves, and Eddie Hernandez could have done better. He could have got those 3 points for his team, but at the end of the day, the hosts did a great job and a deserving point for them. And Mohammedan SC, I think, they'll do mention that they lost out on 2 points tonight. Ball possession, the visitors lead again. The end of play, shots taken 15, but 5 on target. Just 1 shot on target, and that too in the second half for Aizawl FC. There were 3 yellow cards, not a single red. 11 corners, lot of set pieces, none were great, but still action-packed 90 minutes, and the deadlock remains.
Absolutely. The stat to focus, of course, was the 1 shot on target. There were plenty of shots, of course, from the opposition team, but Ivan with 2 shots, Mafela with 2, and of course, the likes of Amavia, Riyata, Walpuya, and Ramsanga had 1 shot. Not being able to keep on target most of the shots in that occasion, Aizawl FC, but they will be pretty happy with that fight back. And of course, plethora of shots from Mohammedan SC. 14 shots, Eddie Hernandez, of course, 4 shots. Kasimov, the one who was taking most of the set pieces. David, Juan, Remsanga, Zudika, all of them finding their names in this particular stat. Of course, shot. Mohammedan SC would be very disappointed, would be heavily disappointed with this result, of course. Total of 13 fouls from the hosts, of course, and dominating the foul charts, of course, are Thalpuya, Mufella, and Amawia with 2 fouls. Like we were mentioning, there was no red card which was flashed in this game, plenty of yellow cards, and most of the times the referee, Ashish Tiwari, just making sure that it was not a very, very good outing. Of course, it is fouls. 14 fouls from Mohammedan SC. David 3, of course, and the likes of Bikash, Juan, and Kasimov with 2 fouls, and Zudika and Adinga with 2 and 1 fouls respectively. There you can see Real Kashmir now 5 points clear. Mohammedan SC, I beg your pardon, 5 points clear of Real Kashmir. Aizawl FC remain on par with Gokulam Kerala FC. A win today, and they would have replaced Gokulam Kerala FC and would have been stationed at the number 4. And of course, this was an absolute crackerjack of a game. Bottom of the table being dominated by Trau and Neroka FC. This was a good game at the Rajiv Gandhi Stadium in Aizawl, in the beautiful and the picturesque state of Aizawl, of Mizoram, in fact.
That's right. After 2 back-to-back 1-1 score lines, a 0-0 for Aizawl FC. Best part is that they're still collecting points steadily as they try to climb up the standings. And for Mohammedan SC, they still have to wait to get back to the winning ways. But the fans must have enjoyed the 90 minutes battle tonight, because the visitors had chances, created a lot of them, took so many shots, but still were not clinical. And this is how they moved around when it all started off. Sanga won a foul, Wanella to Adinga. Game heated up as it came to an end. Tough challenges from both the sides. This one was from Ivan. You had to see the yellow for it, and then Adinga to Bikash, stopped by Adinga's counterpart, which was Zohera. Kasimov also played a very important role around that midfield area and in the flanks. They tried their best, and this was that moment. Both the teams came up to protect their players. Gustavo also played a very important role in the defense with Ivan Chuzohera and Rezuela. Mohammedan, I'm sure they will be thinking that Eddie Hernandez, had he found the back of the net, things would have looked different and they would have stayed at the top, but still they would have strengthened the spot, the top spot.
Absolutely. Adinga has been marshalling his troops really well today in this match. But of course, Mohammedan would be very disappointed with this result. They came here with a mission. They came here with a mission to get all those 3 points, but they could manage only 1 point. Plenty of challenges, plenty of tackles. The game that had started off on a note where we didn't see a lot of fouls gradually tapered off towards something where we had several fouls. Of course, once again, if we take a look at the replay, there were a few chances for Eddie Fernandez. Not a few, a lot in fact, but just couldn't get that final kill. Once again, Eddie was in the zone to score that goal. Chest trap, then of course it was a shot taken from a distance from Mohammedan, not being able to keep it on target, but wow, what a game. Adinga this time tried taking that curler. It was a good chance, and Eddie, this was probably one of the most important goals he could have scored, which eventually led to Fernandez getting a little blow towards his wrist. The game was stopped for a while, and then again straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. Kasimov's shot. Fernandez had a very busy day and would be very happy with the way things panned out for him, especially in the first half with those clinical saves. And of course, curlers are never easy. But this time he kept his calm under the nerves, of course. Calm under pressure, in fact. And what a game we've had. Aizawl FC getting 1 point. Mohammedan getting 1 point as well from this game. This is of course the second tier football league of India, the I League, one of the most prestigious leagues.
Well, I think this was the moment Eddie Hernandez, he'll never like to see this replay because he had the chance to get 3 points for his team. Then Aizawl FC also had a 1-1 situation, but then Padam Chetri came out in the right time. Then those quick releases, creating chances, did work out pretty well for them. From the right, a setup was there. The shot went off target. The corner was given. Irshad was not happy with the decision. But then, this is how things panned out here at the Rajiv Gandhi Stadium. Minimal chances for Aizawl FC. Lot of them for Mohammedan, but still, the scoreline remained the same, just like how it started. So the full-time scoreline at the Rajiv Gandhi Stadium, it's 0-0 between Aizawl FC and Mohammedan. With Boomba in the commentary box, this is Varun signing off.